All right, welcome to the Ask Me Anything April edition. I had asked people around 3 weeks ago to ask me their questions. I received, I think, over 100, but I've taken half of them. And the timestamps for these question and answers will be put down below. Obviously, I cannot write all of them because the description has limited number of characters. So I'll put the timestamp and I'll put a word that kind of summarizes what the question is about. But there have been questions which I have decided not to answer. I mean, questions which are so frequently asked, like, where do you stay? I stay in Samui. Why did you get yourself tattooed? You can check. And then you get questions even like, what would you tell your younger self? Which I've already answered. All it takes is just type on YouTube, Loy Machedo, and the question that you're asking. So I've decided not to answer questions which I've answered so many times, made multiple videos, okay, which are very silly. Like, what do you do for a living? I mean, all you have to do is just Google search Loy Machedo. And then the other questions which I've decided not to answer is, I mean, some people are putting their whole life story, like it's around 1,500 words or 500 words, and you can't answer it in one line. So I've refused to take those questions. I'm taking questions which I feel I can summarize in 2 or 3 points. Okay, so this is the April edition of Ask Me Anything. If you feel, oh sheesh, my question was not answered, comment down below. And do let me know your thoughts. If you have any bits of wisdom to add and share, it would be really nice. Remember, I'm not doing this for views, as in, I know, these videos don't go very big in terms of numbers, but I'm doing it as a community service to support you guys, and I appreciate your support and trust in me. So, having said that, let's start. The first one. How do you approach making important decisions? How do you approach? So one is I write them down. The second one is I have a vision, where do I want to reach? Number 3 is I ask myself, can I be committed to that vision? Okay, to that daily action. And number 4 is the impact on my life, if I succeed to achieve that or if I fail. Now, I'll give you an example so that it makes it a little easier. So how do I approach important decisions like? First, I write it down, because you should always write down your goals. Okay, whatever it is. So whatever is important. And remember, you might have many goals, relationship, friendships, love, whatever. Choose only one, the most important one that you want to work on. Let's say your long-term vision is career. You want to become, let's say, a CEO of a company. That is your vision. I want to be a CEO. But that is like, saying I will run 1,000 kilometers or I'll jog. But you need to start at step 1. No? So you have your goal. I want to be a CEO. But then you immediately should know what is your next step. Okay, so if let's say you want to get a salary of 1 million and or income of 1 million, and you're currently earning 100, the next step should be 110 or 120, 130, 140. So step by step. So you have a vision, you have your daily action. Then point number 3 comes to the daily action. What are you committed to? So in my case, I want my brand to be global. I want my global in the sense to my target audience, and I want to generate regular income. So, that is my vision. So how do I commit every day? Commit every day by putting value-added videos like this. I answer questions, I answer emails, I give, special extra services to my clients. And every day I study, I learn. So I have a set number of actions and I stay committed to it like a routine. And last, if not the least, what is the impact if success or failure? So if I don't become a global brand, would I still enjoy this process? Would I still want to do these actions? If the answer is no, then it's no point. Then you should not be making the decision to take that road, because you can't handle failure. See, many people want to start a business. They want to become very successful. or they want to get married and want to make their marriage very successful. But the question is, can you handle failure? If you can't handle failure, then you should not get into it. If you can't handle the failure that if your business fails, you lose all your money, don't get into it. Okay, because remember, when you get married, every single day you have to contribute to your partner's well-being. If you have a business, every single day you have to contribute to the well-being of the business. And then one day if your business flops, you shouldn't cry and say, I put so much of money, so much of effort, oh, I'm destroyed. Or if your marriage fails, oh, I give this person my life, everything, and this person dumped me. Can't handle the cost, don't get into it. So how do I approach the most important decisions of my life? Write them down, decide what is my vision. Third one is, can I be committed to a daily action, which you must take every single day, step by step. And last one, can you handle failure? Okay, so that is how. Question number 2, what are some important values or principles that guide your decision and actions? I'll give you 3. The important values or principles I have. One is me, myself, and I. I have to protect myself. I have to take care of myself. I have to look after myself because nobody else will do that. I don't have a mother. I don't have a father. I don't have relatives. I don't have friends. I don't trust people that they can take care. Even my wife, even though she'll be very loving, caring, she doesn't have the capacity to earn money to take care of me. My baby is too small. So first is I have to take care of myself. So me, my I is most important first. Second one is I obviously need money. So money is very high on that priority list. People say money is not everything. Yeah, but money pays most of the bills. And number 3 is not just money. You should be happy doing what you're doing. Many people, they work, they make money, but they're miserable. I made up my mind very early on. I was not going to take up any career where I make money, but I'm miserable. That is why I've said no to partnerships, collaborations, where big money is involved. I made that mistake once, I think twice in my life, and I paid a very big price. That fake degree racket. Even though I knew that guy was doing something fishy, I was still tempted because he paid me a lot of money to ensure that the branding and training, that was not illegal. But I got miserable, and in the end of the day, it's like I paid a greater price for making that decision. So these are the 3 important values that guide my decision or actions. Question number 3, how do you approach personal growth and development? What strategies do you use for continuous learning? I just have 2 points here. Number 1, will it help me earn more money per hour right now? So that's a question I ask. So if there's a book on human evolution, DNA, cognitive psychology, self-improvement, losing weight, whatever it is, okay, typing skills or any, I'll just ask myself, this is what I'm going to learn. Can it help me right now make money right now within the next 1 month? If it's no, I don't see any point. Or does it help me benefit right now? For example, fasting, intermittent fasting and losing weight. Yeah, it'll help me right now and it'll show me the difference within, let's say, 1 month to 3 months. It's worth it. But if I take on something like understanding the art of seduction, and there's no way to measure it, or it'll happen somewhere down the line, and I don't know, or I'm reading about cognitive psychology and it'll make me more informed, but it doesn't give me any tangible benefits, I'm not going to get into it. I hope you understand what I mean. So will it help me right now? Urgent. Does it give me immediate results? The maximum time frame I can give it 3 months. If beyond that, it's no point. Then second one is it more practical than theory? There are many self-improvement books which talk about theory. For example, if you search Mind Valley, they have a course on manifestation, actual course. You can manifest your dream and money will come in. And she says, if you do that, you will get, you'll find the right husband, you'll find the right business, you'll find the right opportunities. Now, that is all theory. She's saying it because she claims that it helped her. But if you ask other people, they'll say, no, man, there's no practical evidence. So I prefer something that is practical. Like, for example, the dieting that I did, sorry, not dieting, the fasting that I did, it shows practical results. And it's not just theory. So I don't believe in theory. I believe in practical application of the theory. Okay. So, and I need to see practical results. So that is why when people promise me, Loy, you join me and we will make big money and we will have, it's all theory. Where is the actual result? I need to see it. Okay. So anything for personal growth and development, only if it gives me immediate results. Because remember, I'm 47 now. If you're in your 20s, you can read plenty of books, you have all the time in the world. I have very less time. So for me, at this age of my life, this stage, I need immediate results. Number 4, can you let me highlight these? So once I've responded to them, you know that I've done it. Okay. Next one, can you give any insight or advice on navigating relationships? Okay, let me, one sec. This can be a little distracting, so I'll make this white. White. Okay. Can you share insights? Can you share insights or advice on navigating relationships and dating from a female perspective? Okay. I've written down a few thoughts here. There are 5 points that I've written. See, when giving advice to a female, it all comes down to, there are a lot of variables. Like, for example, what is your age? Which country are you coming from? What is your culture? What are the tradition? What are the values? What is the upbringing? What is your body type? What are the options that you have? What is the support you get from parents? There are so many variables. I cannot give a one size fits all. Let's say there is an American girl and her father and mother have given her total freedom. She can do whatever she wants. She can even bring a guy into her room and lock it, and she gets unlimited amount of pocket money. The advice that I would give her versus the advice I would give a girl whose parents are very strict and she's not allowed to meet anyone. She has to just go to work and come back, and the father is keeping an eye on her. Two different people. And then if someone is 20 versus someone who's 40, I can't give a standard one size fits all advice. Okay. And if you say, oh, okay, my name is so and so, I'm from India, I'm 20 years old, my parents are strict. But then again, I still have to know much more information. Have you met many guys? Have you didn't meet many guys? Are you comfortable meeting guys? Do you have bad experiences? It's too much. I cannot give you a one size fits all. It is like saying, can you tell me a course that will help me become successful in life? It's vague. The second thing is for females, from a female perspective, where dating and relationships is concerned, I always ask the guy or the girl, what do you want? You need to be very specific. Write it down on a sheet of paper. You want a secure relationship. You want a sexual relationship. You want fun. You want an open relationship. You want marriage. So you can't have all. You have to choose one which is the most important. So let's say, for example, you're looking for stability. Okay, you're looking for a very stable, means a guy should be loyal. But then what happens if the guy is loyal, but he is a simp? What happens if the guy is loyal, but he is very bad at sex? What happens if a guy is very loyal, but he wants kinky, very dirty kind of sex? What if a guy is very loyal, but he is a bum, he cannot earn money? So you see what I'm getting at. You'll tend to have all the traits which are positive and perfect, but then you're not positive and perfect, then how can you, match that? So what do you want specifically, and what is most important? Number 3 is, I always ask guys, and I would say this for females as well, what is it that you have? What is it that you have that no other female has? What can you offer? Oh, I will love him forever. I will be with him forever. I will never betray him. I'm the best friend. Yeah, I'll be your best friend. He might have other females who'll say the same. So how do you measure that? How is that specific? Like, just imagine the guy says, I love you forever. Okay. What does that mean? So I know, I'm trying to objectify or trying to measure something that cannot be measured. But you have to be practical and you have to know yourself. Are you really beautiful? Are you very stunning? Are you absolutely super intelligent? Are you amazingly charismatic? Are you filthy rich? Are you well connected? I mean, these are the factors you need to consider, because remember, there's always a give and take, and nobody gets into a relationship without a benefit to them. Then, the point number 4 is, why would a man stick to you? Why? There should be a reason why a man sticks to you, right? Why should he stick to you long term? Short term, maybe you can offer him sex, fun, pleasure, no strings attached. But why would he want to stick with you long term? Is it that you're giving him free, open ended sex with no strings attached? That is the USB? Or are you going to take care of him and always give him money and support him? Or, what? What is it that you offer him that he should stick with you for lifetime? And finally, the do's and don'ts. You should have rules. If you physically assault me, or if you verbally give me bad words, or you cheat on me, I will break up. You need to be very explicit with your rules. Or you can have, I don't want a guy who's earning less than me. I don't want a guy who's shorter than me. So you need to have these bits. So this is the insights and advice that I would give a female when she's navigating a relationship. One final thing that I'll tell you. Always keep in mind, between a man and woman, the girl is the one who bears the brunt of any problems that take place, whether it's getting pregnant to society hammering you. So just keep in mind, as a female, you end up with a shorter end of the bargain. So just be careful there. Next one. On what parameters do you decide if something deserves your response or not? It's very simple. Does it benefit my brand directly or indirectly? If yes, I give my attention or response. If no, I don't. That is why someone sends me private messages and asks me 20, 30 questions and wants to debate privately. I don't waste my time there. It doesn't make sense. Next one. You are a wordsmith. Okay, wait, sorry. Let me make this white. This white. Okay. You are a wordsmith. Can you give concise, smart replies? How did you learn to do that? It's very simple. Practice, perfect practice makes you perfect. It's like, for example, Usain Bolt. He knows how to run the 100 meters perfectly. How did he learn to become so good at what he's doing? Because every single day for 4 years, for many, many years of his life, he kept practicing that 100 meters. And every practice was not like, oh, I'll just go jogging. He did it exactly the way he would do it on that day. The speed, the intensity, the hunger, the drive, the focus, the physical exertion. He would keep puking day in and day out. It was that difficult. So he put his 100% at every practice session. So that is how he became better. So in the same way, for me, every article, every video that I make it perfect. Like, for example, this video, I know I'm not going to get many views, but it doesn't matter. I will still give my 100%, so I become better. So even being a wordsmith, you have to keep practicing. I practice in Quora, the art of writing, 12 to 16 hours every single day. Every single day, I would keep typing, 12 to 16 hours. I think I did it for nearly 6 to 8 months. Okay. And that's how I improved in the art of writing. But before that also, when I was a competitive speaker, I would write every word, every line, every sentence, every paragraph, break it down. If I would write a paragraph, I'd break the paragraph down into different lines. And then each line, I would check the word. Okay, there are 20 words here. Can I say the same thing in 15 words? Can I say the same thing in 5 words? So that is how I would go. And remember, one last thing is, I never used AI and I never used chatbots, because if you use AI and chatbots, what you're doing is you're giving your skill to a machine. The machine will become better, but you'll be forever dependent on that machine. So that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, next one. Let's go to the next one, number 7. extreme fun, discipline, and control, extreme hard work. Okay. Do you love being an extremist? Um, it's not something I do it purposely, it comes unconsciously to me. I'm an extremist in whatever I do. I'm obsessed. That doesn't mean you have to be just because I am. So you choose what is your personality. I would always say moderation is the key. But for me, my personality, I am slightly an extremist. That is why when I buy books like crazy. When I buy electronics like crazy. When I go into dieting, I go dieting or fasting like crazy. You should not be following me. You should understand your personality and be yourself. Number 8, you have mastery, verbal and written communication. How did you learn from scratch? This much I know, that you are a perfectionist and extremist, hard work plus dedication. Still, I would like to know in detail. This is not the place where I can give everything in detail because there are just too many questions. So, like I said, in 3 points, perfect practice makes perfect. I take a paragraph, I break it down line by line, and I analyze each and every word. And then I ask myself what I've said in 20 words. Can I say it in 15? Can I say it in 10? Can I say it in 5? If I can say it in 5, why should I use 20? Okay, next one. This one is the most abused question that is being asked, which I don't understand even today. Your recommended recommendations on people, books, and tips. Just Google search Loy Machedo top 100 books. You'll get the reading list. And I don't understand why people keep asking me the same question over and over again. Okay. Number 10. How do you balance traditional expectations with modern realities? Traditional expectations, modern realities in your personal brand and professional life. So how do I balance both? See, here I realized it's very hard because what I want is not what society wants, and what society wants is not what I want. So I can't change everyone. I can only change myself. And I realized I didn't want to change. So I had no other option but to stay away from society, break away from all the relationships, and move on with my life. I'm very aware that not everyone can do this. Like, staying on an island in a forest away from society, not everyone can do this. But this is what I chose. And the question is, if you're part of society, then what do you do? Well, if you're part of society, then keep it private. That's what I suggest. Let no one know what is your business. Don't have your profile on social media. Don't let people know you exist. So when it's in private, nobody knows. Okay. Next one, number 11. How do you navigate challenges and setbacks while staying resilient? How do I manage challenges and setbacks? Okay. My thought process is very simple. I have no mother, no father, no brother, no sister, no friends. Nobody will help me. My wife and child can't take care of me. So I don't have a choice. I have to take care of my problem. So if there's a problem, I have to find a solution. My father, mother, no, nobody is going to be there. So it makes me very proactive and makes me think like, survival of the fittest in a very extreme, edgy sense. Okay, next one. How do you manage to stay hardcore focused, least affected by external situations? It's not easy. It comes with experience. It comes with time. You need years of experience and maturity to handle this. So even if I tell you do A, B, C, D, like even if I tell you meditate or ignore or whatever, it takes time. So give it time. You will realize how to do it. Next one, number 13. How do you manage your data? Where do you keep it, store it, delete it, manage and organize it? It's very simple. I have 3 machines for backup. I have backup number 1, then I have backup number 2, and then I have backup number 3, which is a NAS device, which is around, I think, 12 terabytes. It's like 12 computers. So that is where I keep the important data. But the stuff that is very confidential, I transfer it to a hard disk, multiple hard disks, and I don't keep it connected to the internet. I don't put it online. I keep it physically. I store it. So that is how I manage and organize data. Rest, everything I delete, because otherwise you'll be inundated with so many things, you'll never have time to go through all of it. Okay. Number 14, what advice would you give young women navigating the professional world? 4 pieces of advice. Number 1, get yourself a mentor. Okay, someone who genuinely wants to take interest in you. Now, obviously, not many of you can afford a mentor or find one. Then try to find someone who is senior to you in your workplace, someone you look up to in the real world. The only problem, the caveat here is, sometimes being a female, you end up with having a male who kind of starts having feelings for you, and then it can end up being sexual exploitation. So be careful of that. That is why I have a family, husband and wife, and speak to them. So you'll need a mentor or a guide. Number 2 is have a vision. Like I told you, if you want to be a CEO, then you go backwards. CEO, okay, then what are the different levels of the hierarchy? Or I want to earn 100,000. So before that, I have to earn 50,000. Before that, 25,000. Before that, 10,000. Before that, 5,000. Before that, 1,000. So where are you? And go one step at a time. Number 3 is for women in the professional world. I would say you have to outwork your competition. You have to outlearn your competition. You have to outperform your competition. And you have to be overly obsessed with making your work life a priority. You have to be obsessed, because in the corporate world, women have the short end of the stick. And last but not the least, you have to break off from anything and anyone that takes your time, your effort, your money, your creativity, be it relationships, friendships, whatever. Being a woman and trying to succeed in the corporate world is very, very tough. So you'll have to really push the boundaries of effort, work, creativity, and never stop till you reach the top. And yeah, if there's a company that doesn't reward you for this, leave it and go to the next one. Number 15, your advice for unmarried females to be tough in life. Covering wrong signals they give men. How can they prioritize professional life over love life, and your additional insights? A very mouthful question. So advice to unmarried females, know your values and be clear about them. Do you want to have sex? You don't want to have sex? Do you want an open relationship? Do you want, a close relationship? You need to be very clear. Let me just put this on mute, others I keep getting disturbed. Okay. So you have to be very clear about your values. And the second one is understand that everything has an opportunity cost. You want to focus on your love life. You want to focus on your professional life. Focus on professional life, love life will suffer. Do you want to focus more on keeping fit? Or do you want to focus more on studying hard? Something has to give. So there's an opportunity cost. So I'll just give you 2 pieces of advice. Know your values. Be clear about them. Second one, there's an opportunity cost. Whichever direction you take, the other side suffers. Okay. So I'll move to the next question. Your experiences with women. How will you train your daughter for life? I'll give you 3 points here. See, with regards to my experiences with women, I was in that phase where I wanted to discover, experiment, play. So it doesn't actually contribute to my daughters, because my daughter is not going to be a play girl and have relationships with women. However, for her upbringing, I've realized what were my limitations. So I made sure that my wife is 24/7 with her, supervising her, being her friend, guiding her, communicating with her 24/7, number 1. So my job is to earn, her job is only the baby. The second one is where the template of life is concerned, she'll follow my protocol. For example, I don't want my daughter to get into, drinking, smoking, hanging out with friends, staying in other people's houses. So there are some rules that I will put. And the third most important bit is obedience is non-negotiable. You have to listen to your parents. I'm not going to have a child who's going to be a social justice warrior or demand things. No. We follow strict protocols, and these protocols are laid out by me. And yes, she'll follow a simplistic life because that is how I want my daughter to be raised. Okay. Next one is, what experiences have shaped your understanding of masculinity? These terms, no, they're just now people are talking about them. So I had to Google search the definition. Masculinity is qualities or attributes regarded as characteristics of boys and men, like handsome, muscled, driven, is an example of masculinity, for example. So my experience that has shaped my understanding is men have their roles, women have their roles. Both have to be clear about what you will do, what she will do, and don't mix the two. And you have to be very clear what you can and cannot accept. So that, I think, makes a person, either masculine or feminine or simp or alpha or whatever. Okay. Next one is, how do you handle stress or emotional challenges? Okay. Stress is a daily part of your life. There's not a single day where I'm not stressed. Either I'm stressed more or less, or too much, or just average. So I write down, I always believe in writing. I write down what is the thing that bothers me, what is the problem, and I work on that problem, the most important problem. I don't work on all the problems. I work on only one problem at a time. And how do I choose the problem? It's very simple. I ask myself, what is the most important problem here that if I solve, takes care of everything else or gives me the maximum ROI? So that is how I handle stress. Emotional challenges, for me right now, I don't have emotional challenges because I just have, a very stable, secure relationship. But for someone who's starting off, and you need to navigate one step at a time. There's no single template. So one step, one problem at a time, navigate it and find a solution. Okay, number 19. How do you define success and fulfillment in life? A very vague question, but I'll answer it. How do I define success? My definition of success is being happy in everything that I do. I want to find happiness in anything that I do every single day. That's number one. Second one is sense of fulfillment. You need to enjoy the journey. Like, yeah, you want to have six-pack abs, but would you enjoy going through the exercise process and dieting process or fasting process, or are you going to be miserable and cry and fret? Then it doesn't make sense, right? And how do I define fulfillment and success? Third point is, am I making more money in less time and being able to buy and live the life of, not super luxury, but decent luxury. So that is how I define success and fulfillment. Number 20, what do you think about gender equality and how can both genders work towards it? Okay. Gender equality is a term that is very used nowadays. It is important, but life is not fair and they are not going to give you equality on a platter. Women are always going to have the tougher side of things. So you'll have to put your foot down and accept what you can, and what you can't accept, draw the line and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go for this. Do you think both genders can work together? In theory, they can. Practically, the question is whether they would want to. You need to know where to draw the line. You need to know what you'll accept, what you'll not. And finally, it comes down to you. Okay? So this is with regards to gender equality. And remember, there's no perfect world. It's always imperfect. How do you navigate friendships and support networks? My definition of friends is those who pay me money for my time, effort, creativity, or those who give me benefit, and those I can give 10 times more the value. Then it's a worthwhile relationship. And I strive. I don't succeed every time in giving 10 times the value, but those I can offer more. And support networks, and you can have unlimited networks. The question is, who are you dealing with right now? And who is important right now at this phase of your life? Because you might have 100 relatives. You're not going to be in touch with 100, all of them. It's not possible. So whom is important in your life right now? You just focus on that and maybe your immediate goal. Okay. Next one. How do you prioritize self-care and mental health? Okay. I take care of myself because nobody else will. So it's me, myself, I. I remove anything that is bad and toxic. I'm very aware of what is there. So if I feel something is toxic, so whether it's a person commenting or someone trying to be a troll, if I feel the person is talking, block and delete, no second chances. I keep it simple. And where mental or physical health is concerned, I ask myself, what is the best treatment I can get for the money that I can afford? So that's how I go about, whether it's coaching, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a treatment. So that's it. What are your thoughts on work-life balance and finding a purpose in career? Okay. In today's competitive world, there's no such thing as work-life balance. You just can't have it. If you're the type who's going to think of work-life balance, you better have enough and more money in the bank so that when you're focusing on work-life, if they demand more time from you, you can say, I resign. I prefer staying at home with my family and spending time. So if you're going to be a relaxed person, taking it easy, don't expect to succeed in life, don't expect to achieve greatness, don't expect to achieve more money. You'll just be vanilla, average. And what is my purpose in my career? Is to be happy, is to be passionate about what I do, and is to enjoy making the money. So that's as far as it goes. 24, can you share any experience where you had to advocate for yourself, assert your boundaries in a female-dominated environment? I can only think of my family, and I can think of working in a bank, which was my first job. How did I assert? Well, I tried to put my foot down, and if it worked, I would continue being there. If it didn't work, I left, because you can't change others. You can only change yourself. So in my case, I left, and I searched for a new place. Okay. Do you have a playlist? Do you have a playlist on resumes already? How can people with no prior experience make their resumes? Please enlighten me. I don't have a playlist. There are playlists available online. You can Google search. They give it for free. And if you don't have any experience, how can you make your resume? Well, if you don't have any experience, nothing you write on the resume matters. So don't bother too much on what you're going to write. If you're a fresher, zero experience, what will you write? You can't fake it, right? So if you have zero experience, just put basic details. You can check a resume online for freshers. Just follow that template. If you're a fresher, nobody cares. Trust me. Just find out what the employer is looking for and give it to them. Number 26. What do you think are the most significant societal changes you have witnessed over the years? I would say 4. One is social media. 5. One is social media. Second one is the smartphone. Third one is the virtual currency of likes, comments, followers. They measure their value virtually. Number 4 is the erosion of values. Today there is no importance to elders, parents, respect, or even relationships. Nothing. It's all someone can have cyber sex while chatting on the phone and cheat on their partners, and it's considered cool. So, and last one is the youth have forgotten their place, and it's become a terrible mess dealing with the youngsters. I deal with them on a day-to-day basis, so I know. Number 27. So Yash Patak 8520 asks, do you listen to Eminem music? Simple. The answer is no. I listen to slow music, 80s, epic music, like Gladiator themes, or Hans Zimmerman. And I listen to pop music, which is the 80s. Okay, next one. Why is India known as the scam capital of the world with many internet scammers? What's your take on this? India is not known as the scam capital of the world. It is just people just loosely give, like they say, India is the rape capital of the world or whatever. These are just terms people throw around. The highest number of scams take place in places like Africa. I think I don't have the updated list, but Africa is, as a continent, Africa is number one. I think followed by India and Pakistan. Okay, so it's not India is the scam capital of the world, but there are many Indian scammers, and the reason for this is because the market is unregulated, the government is not interested to take any initiative, and there are no strict laws punishing people who are into this. Next one, Kataki 50. How can I develop better communication skills to connect with more people just beyond my close friends? I have 4 points for you. Travel more, go for more events, go for more conferences, meet more strangers, check out different cultures, different traditions, go to different countries, go to different cities. That's number one. Second one is, if you don't have money for all this, then, and if you're limited, well, just interact with people in your community, in your office, or in your industry. Go to volunteering clubs. That's how you meet new people. Number three is, have a structured process. Just meeting someone doesn't mean that you have made new contacts. Have someone, a mentor or someone who observes you. How are you dealing with this person? How do you talk to people? How do you listen? What are your red flags? What do you do well? What do you not do well? So you need to have a structured process, and you need to have someone who observes you, takes down notes, and then after you finish meeting people, end of the day, discuss this is what happened. My students or the people I train, every single day, they have to give me a report, what happened, how did they go about, and then I'm able to gauge the areas they can improve. Otherwise, you'll just keep meeting people. You don't know if you're irritating or you're fun or what you're doing wrong. And last and not the least is, it's always good to have a video footage or a recording device which studies how you do things, from your body language to the way you interact. When you see YouTube videos, camera following them. So that helps. Now, obviously, it'll be very odd if you had a camera following you and meeting people, because then people will be like, like this. But you get what I'm saying. You need to have some kind of record, either written or video, to know which are the areas you can improve on. And this is a very serious thing. It is not something that you should take lightly if you want to improve. Jogan, do you think actors like Tom Cruise deserve power and influence? Is achieving their level of success difficult? To achieve their level of success is nearly impossible. And does he deserve it? Absolutely. He has worked hard for it, and he has reached where he is. So why shouldn't he deserve it? Next one, Aaron Kolfoff. What is your view on Indian students being killed in USA? Well, wrong person at the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong location. It's not that everyone's hunting down for Indians. It's just that they are at the wrong place. Number 32. How does a Samsung S24 Ultra compare to the iPhone 13 Pro Max? Do you recommend Ultra Watch 24 as well? I've been using the iPhone. I'm part of the Apple ecosystem. Like, people call me the Apple fanboy. But I actually changed to the S24 Ultra, and now I'm using the S24 Ultra. Before, I was using the iPhone. I have both, but I use the S24 Ultra after nearly, I think, 15, 20 years of using. So 15 years. So you can imagine what an impact it has on my life. Okay. So I'm using the S24 Ultra. I'm very happy with it. It's better than the iPhone. But for photographs, for, interacting with your Apple devices, any day iPhone. The Apple ecosystem is very robust. Do I recommend Ultra Watch 24? I have both the Apple one and the Samsung. The Ultra works, but it'll work well only if you do not have tattoos. If you have tattoos, many of the benefits, because it can't read through your skin pigment. So that is where I have the Samsung. The Samsung is more friendly. Ultra Watch it's an all-in-one. It's really perfect. Okay, so highly recommended. So next one is, how can a soft person become tough and brave? Well, a conscious decision, consistent behavior. You have to decide that I'm not going to be soft. You have to be very aware of who you are, and you need to consistently work towards changing your behavior. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And you can, Loy Machedo before 2011 was very soft, very loving, very sweet. But after 2011, he is no longer the sensitive guy because I decided to change my life. And, 2011 was the time I decided to end my life. So because I decided not to end, I decided to make a change. And number 34, what are the options for those who are unable to afford your services? Well, for those who cannot afford my services, well, google.com, youtube.com, you can get all the free advice. And always keep in mind that I'm not the only person on the planet who can give you advice. You should search and find someone who suits your budget. So you can't afford it, find a cheaper option. Okay, like they say, beggars can't be choosers. I'm not calling you a beggar, but you get what I'm saying. Ashish Ashu 9214, can you make a video on J. Krishnamurti and his teachings on meditation? I have no idea who this guy is. Neither am I interested. Maybe I might read about him later. I'm Iron Man. Can you help me find data analytics internship through your connections? The answer is no. Chidi Lal JN4HG. What are your thoughts on witchcraft? Does it relate to religion? It's all hocus pocus nonsense. It's superstition. It doesn't exist. What are your thoughts on Thailand's legalizing same-sex marriage? Should other non-Muslim countries like India follow suit? It has nothing got to do with me. It doesn't impact me. If they legalize, if they ban it, I don't care. Should Muslim countries have it? Once again, it doesn't concern me, doesn't impact me. I don't care. Do I think they should allow people to fall in love and get married? Yes, of course. Why not? But then again, every country has their law. So if Uganda says LGBTQ is banned, well, it's banned. Saudi says banned, it's banned. So, yeah, I don't have a problem. It doesn't concern me. So I don't bother about it. What is the easiest way to overcome addictive habits? There's no easiest way. There is only, a lot of effort that goes into getting rid of bad habits. You have to make a firm decision. You have to change your habits. You have to change your friends. You have to change your environment. You have to change your surroundings. You have to change your priority. That's the only way. There is no easiest way. Because remember, bad habits come with friends, environment, society, access to temptations. So that's the only way. Can you tell me more about fake certificate scams? Just Google search CoffeeZilla, Loy Machedo, that's number one, or Loy Machedo fake degrees. You'll get all the answers. Advice for a 22-year-old emotional woman navigating a competitive world. I have noticed you commenting many times under my videos. This is my personal view. I think you need to seek medical help from a psychiatrist. I'm not saying that you're mentally something. I'm just saying that I feel, this is my gut feeling, you have a massive personality disorder in relation to your upbringing. So in your case, especially you, I would say please seek professional help, because I have read many of your comments and I feel you have plenty of issues that need to be sorted out. This is not a general advice, this is advice for you. Next one, what are the job market conditions in UAE? It's a very vague question. What are the job market conditions? It's normal. It all depends on what job, what experience, which industry, which sector. So you need to focus on that. Next one is, should individuals in their early 20s prioritize learning in startups or earning potential in MNCs? How long should one stay in a company in early stages of their career? Well, once again, depends from person to person. If you're close to the owner and the owner is enterprising, he cares about you, he's willing to be a mentor, then I highly recommend a startup. Otherwise, I would say work in an MNC. They will teach you the process, they'll teach you ways, they'll teach you protocol, and it'll work out. How long should you stay? If you're a fresher, in the starting, at least for the first 5 to 10 years, you should not change, because that will build your character, at least 5 years. Okay, next one. Is it worth continuing to work in the UAE, or should I move to Europe for a higher salary? Well, the answer is very simple. Short term, quick money, UAE. Long term, for citizenship or stability, Europe. Okay, but then again, going to Europe is not going to be easy. It is sometimes even more harder than the Middle East or Dubai. Next one, do you think NVIDIA is overrated or is AI a buzzword now? NVIDIA is overpriced and overrated right now because AI is a new thing. That is why right now their stocks are, I don't know, 2,000 or 20,000 times higher. And they just got hit because of Tesla's lack of sales, and short sellers are making money because now their value is decreasing slightly. So I see NVIDIA right now overrated, overinflated. It's kind of a bubble, but it'll continue for at least the next 5 years. That's just my gut feeling. I can be wrong. So Pamela says, some subscribers ask me silly questions. I'm aware many people think Pamela is me. They think Pamela is my wife. They think Pamela is my relative. And they keep asking Pamela, is this Loy or is this someone? So why do people ask silly questions? Why? Because they are silly. So what can you do? So they live in a bubble world where they do silly stuff. So they think everyone's silly like them. So what do you say to them? Just ignore them. You want to answer, you can answer them. But I recommend ignore them. Then they don't bother. Next one is, how does bad parenting and parenting skills affect a person's life? How can one overcome damages? What do you miss out most about different stages of your life? Okay, quite a number of questions here. How do bad parenting skills affect a person's life? It does affect very badly. So how do you overcome these dangers? Through awareness, through seeking professional help, through the process of mentoring. And what do I miss about the different stages of life? I would summarize it to, I miss the wasted time and the opportunities. Okay, so I'm just keeping this very brief because this question in itself is pretty loaded. Then what are your thoughts on the Kerala story? That is a movie. I've not seen it, but I heard it's a little bit of truth, but too much of masala and too much of hype just to sell the movie and to fill the seats. What is your advice to a 20-year-old self? I've already answered this many times. Just type in YouTube, Loy Machedo, advice to a 20-year-old self. You'll get. Then how do you fight procrastination? Just do it. Do it now. Don't think about it. Don't overthink, overanalyze. Just answer. So I hope this has answered all your questions. This was once again Ask Me Anything. Timestamps are put down below. I hope this gave you some insight. I know it's not detailed, but when you have 50 questions, this is the only way to answer. Good, bad, ugly, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.